Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel if you're new here, and if you're not, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how I created this look from start to finish. It's going to be a voiceover just because I know that I've been having a lot of really chatty get ready with me's lately, so I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. But let me know what you guys prefer. The main palette that I used on my eyes today was the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just know that I don't dabble into these a lot, and if you never noticed, they're the ones that I have displayed on right here. I am going to get the Norvina palette. I do regret the mascara that I used. I was trying out a new one and it just didn't work out to my favor. I used more of the pinkier shades, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this look. I feel like I haven't done something like this in a really long time. If you guys want to know how I got this look, then just keep on watching and I would love to show you how. First and foremost, of course, we're going to fill in the brows. I'm using Wet n Wild's Retractable Eyebrow Pencil. I have been loving it since my first impressions of it in my last video. It's just such an amazing color for me, and I love that it's buildable. I love how it glides on, and I love the spoolie on the end, and it's just everything. So good. And I'm applying some brow gel. This is from CYO Cosmetics. It's available at Walgreens. I've used it a bunch before and I really like the brush on it. And we're gonna keep on going with the brows using this brow highlighter from Wet n Wild. It's a new discovery for me as well, and it has just changed up the game for me. I love it. I just line my underbrow with it and it really helps shape and define it. So I love the look it gives, especially once my eyeshadow is complete. And then of course I'm going to prime my eyes using some concealer. This is the Mercier concealer, and you're going to see me use it again in just a bit. So I'm just using a brush to blend that out and applying some more in those creases of mine, just because I have hooded lids on the outer half of my eye, and I've just been learning to work with them and just learn what works best for my eye looks. So we're going to be using the Soft Glam palette, and with this color, using a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to put that all over the crease using windshield wiper motions and just going back and forth, building it up. These shadows do have a bit of fallout, but that's okay with me. I love the colors and I love the overall look on the end. So using this slightly darker shade, using this brush from the Smoky Essentials set, which I have been loving from BH Cosmetics, I'm applying that in the outer crease and just blending it in, but applying it mostly on the outer crease, focusing it there, and blending it all in, as well as the outer V. And that's where this color is going to mainly be. We're going to go back in with that transition color and apply that right on top, just to make sure that everything is blended very well and that nothing really escaped. I always had this problem with my crease colors. They would always just get lost. So I've been working on techniques and just how to make it better, and using this lovely rose gold shade. That's going to be the star of the show on the lid. I loved how it looked, and usually I apply my lid shades with my finger. That's like my #1 rule, but today I switched it up a bit just because I wanted to be a little bit more precise with my crease. So that's the color I am packing on all over and blending the crease out, just to make sure that everything is just nice and transitioning smoothly. So using this Cyprus umber shade, I freaking love this shadow. This is also in the Modern Renaissance palette, and it's just a deep, rich, dark brown. I'm using a tapered, more dense blending brush and applying that right in the outer V. If you see me, I am focusing that right on the outer of my eye, the outer of my eye, right on the outer point of my lid of the crease, just because that is where my lid usually tends to fold over. So I've been learning techniques on what will help these hooded lids. And it runs in my family. I've realized that everyone pretty much has these lids. They just hood on the outer half. So I've been working with what I got and cleaning up that fallout with a baby wipe, as you can see. So moving on to primer, this was a first impressions because I have never used it before. It's the Dr. Brandst No Pore No More or something along those lines primer. I'm putting that all over the center of my face. It did have some type of like licorice type smell, which caught me really off guard because usually primers smell kind of sweet. But yeah, and then I'm spraying my face over with the Hangover RX 3-in-1 setting and refreshing spray from Too Faced. I've been freaking loving this thing. I'm gonna definitely buy the full size, and using a foundation that I haven't used in a really long time, the Fenty Beauty Foundation. I got this last summer when I was tan, hence why I double checked it when I applied it on my face, just because I wasn't too sure if it would match me. I get very, very pale in the winter, so it did match me pretty well with this light tan that I have going on right now, hoping to keep it. And I'm just blending that all over my face. This is the Eco Tools sponge. It comes in a set of two, and it's the smaller one of the two because the bigger one got lost in Narnia somewhere. I really don't know where that is. So yeah, it was really nice using this foundation because I ended up loving it. Well, re-loving it. I have a full review on it on this channel, and is it worth it? Let me work it if you wanted to check it out. And under my eyes, I'm using this Laura Mercier concealer, the Flawless Fusion. Oh my gosh. This is everything, especially if you have super dark circles. I highly recommend it. I also have an Is It Worth It? Let Me Work It video on this somewhere on my channel if you wanted to check it out. It is so easy to blend out. It covers everything and it just instantly brings everything up. Lately, I haven't really gotten much sleep. There's been just a lot going on with my daughter and just with a lot of work that I've been doing, but it's the good kind of work, so I'm super excited about everything. But yeah, so anyways, that's been covering up all the restless and just tired days of mine. And again, using that same sponge, but the more flattened side, the pointier side of it, so to say, and blending everything all in. I love it especially because it doesn't crease all that much and it doesn't emphasize anything. No lines, none of my aging skin. And to contour my face, I wanted to use some cream products. So this is a contour stick from Wet n Wild. You guys know I love them. And I also applied it to contour my nose, which is something I don't normally do. I first started it off with a brush, but honestly, these blend a lot more, a lot easier with a sponge. So I switched over to a sponge and just started tapping that all in. I draw my line a little bit above the hollows of my cheek. That way everything looks more lifted. And then I'm using that same sponge. I love that edge just because it made it so easy to blend this contour out. And just made it look perfect because it was an automatic straight line. So it was nothing I had to like focus too hard on. And then I used this cream blush from Wet n Wild, which is something that's new to me just because I don't normally use cream-based products, as in like my contour, my blush, none of that. So I used this brush. This is from CYO Cosmetics. I'm going to have everything listed down below. So if I don't mention it, it'll be listed either down below or most definitely on my blog. And as you can see, it is such a pretty flush of color, and it was so easy to blend out. I know sometimes with cream products it's a little bit intimidating because you just don't know what you're gonna get, but it's definitely worth a try. And now moving on to the highlight. This is the first time I use this specific shade of highlight. These are the Halo Liquid Highlight Drops from Wet n Wild, and I love them. I really do. I used the gold one, the goldier toned one, in my Wet n Wild One Brand video if you haven't seen that. And it was the first time I used it, and I definitely fell in love with the formula. Love it, love it, love it. I applied a little bit too much on that side, but I just blended it away with a sponge. So to set the face, I know this is something a little weird. I guess with cream products, everybody can do it differently, either apply powder before or after. I do it afterwards, and I just lightly dust it. I use a dual fiber brush to make it easier to lightly dust the center of my face and all the way around. And again, with this concealer, it really doesn't crease all that much or at all, if that, so I wasn't too worried. And to contour my face, you guys, like, I don't really have to tell you anymore, but if you're new here, Dulce de Leche contouring palette from Wet n Wild is my jam. If you have something similar or you have a recommendation of something new that I should try, let me know in the comments, because your girl will use this till the end of time until I find something that works for me. So in my lower lash line, I'm pretty much using the shades that I put in my crease in the order that I put them. So I'm using the lighter shade, then the light medium shade, and then Cyprus umber on the outer half. And again, I'll have everything detailed on my blog. So I'm using this shade, I believe it's called Fairy, and look at what it did to my inner corner. It did everything. It did the most. And this is again something that I fell in love with from my last video. It's the Mega Slim eyeliner from Wet n Wild. You guys, if you like your liner super thin or just very sharp and precise, I'm pretty sure you could easily do a thick winged liner with this as well. But I've found that for my eye and for my lids, small lined eyes, like small winged liners, work best with me, and it just looks more flattering. Every time I try to do a huge, large, winged, thick liner, it just doesn't end up working out to my favor. So I'm curling my lashes, and this was a first impressions, and I love it for my lower lashes. I don't like it for my upper lashes. I just didn't really do anything to them, and I was like, what just happened? So I then went on with this Max Fanatic mascara, also from Wet n Wild, and just try to fix it, just because my lashes didn't end up looking the way that I wanted them to with the slim mascara, but it worked very well on my lower lashes. So for the lips, I'm using this ABH Cosmetics lip liner. It's in Samantha, and it ended up being a little bit lighter than I thought. But I ended up working with it anyways. So I lined my lips, and then I applied this liquid lipstick from Kylie Cosmetics. It's her Velvet ones. The name, I believe, is Rose. And I just applied that all over my lips, really just defining that Cupid's bow. I like this formula better than her matte liquid lipsticks because they are a little too dry, but the Velvet ones, A+ for me. So I'm using the Precious Petals powder highlight from Wet n Wild and applying that on my Cupid's bow just because it's just not complete without it. And that's it. Oh, just kidding, that's not it. I'm using some setting spray, and now that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this voiceover. That wraps up this look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys got something out of it. You saw me try out some new products. This foundation I haven't worn in a hot minute because this is my tan shade. I know. But I honestly didn't think that I was going to be able to film this week. Penelope had to get some stuff done, and it was just like a really rough week for us. If you guys want to know more about what I do on my day-to-day, more lifestyle type things, follow me over on my Instagram, Ariel Eloisa Fit, because I post a lot on there. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? Click that bell button, that way you get notified whenever I do post a video, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye!